Hi everyone, good evening. It's Damian here. I've got the girls out tonight, the lasses out. But yeah, I made a video last night, didn't I? And I was talking about targets, personal growth, personal development. However, out. Something completely stepped out of my mind. And I'm talking about my next step up the ladder. I'm talking about personal development. I'm talking about personal targets. And I have everything that I stood by last night is true. It's true. I've got some of the stuff in motion. I've heard back from my doctor today, and she's going to try to liaise with a couple of people before my appointment on Wednesday. So things, uh, things are slowly progressing. I just need to slow myself down a bit. As the vicar was saying yesterday in his service, that we all need to take a step back especially when things aren't in our control and when we're trying to rely on other people and that kind of thing. However, what is what is the most important target of all here? What is the most important target of all, and what is it? And I'm like, I was thinking about, I suddenly had a light bulb moment on the bus where I forgot to mention this. So, 20th of June, nearly said May there, June, is going to be 2 years since I last overdosed or self harmed. And I'm really, I'm really looking forward to that. I find it hard at the moment, though, looking for opportunities with the autism, looking for other routes, other avenues, because of the fact that they're like, you've got a history of overdosing, you've got a history of self harming, you're too high risk and specialist for us. So of a lot of the target areas, no, a lot of the groups that I'm looking at are saying that I'm too high risk because of self harm and overdosing and that kind of thing. And I'm really focused on getting getting this out of the way. Let's get it to 2 years since I last overdosed or self harmed, and I'm like, it's causing me a bit of stress, and I'm not good at target based. I'm not good at deadlines. I know for a fact that when the when I was having problems getting my license back, the DVLA put me on because the problems that I was getting and because my social worker would contact the DVLA, because of the problems that I was having, the DVLA put me on a deadline to do an assessment with them, and I was struggling with the instructor. Partly because he didn't understand the autism, and partly because I knew that I had a month and a half, 2 months to get my driving up to standard and to be able to pass this medical. And it was really scaring me, especially with the deadline base. So I'm not good at targets. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at that. And I'm really wanting to get it back. And it does make me nervous. And it does make me nervous. And yeah, as I say, I'm not good at deadline based. I'm not good at target based. Another example is that it it gives me anxiety, as I say. So another example of it was the getting my license back. I I knew that if I could have got to the 28th of of December last year that I'd have that. I'll be starting this year with the 3 month contingency, with that 3 month that I need to get my license back. And I knew that I'd got that contingency in hand. And I'm like, had this dream where I was at my mum's in a distressed state, bringing the doctors or whatever, and telling them that I was going to overdose or self harm. Looking at myself in my mum's bathroom window, and I'm like, I was saying to myself in this, I'm like doing it, and then I'm like saying to myself, you've completely blown it now. You've got that contingency in hand for your driving lesson. And for your drive, you've got that contingency in hand for your driving. You've completely blown it now. You're not going to get your license back. And I'm like, woke up. I was in my own bed in my own home. And I woke up, heart rate going, struggling to breathe. And I'm like, have I just, like, had to have a bit of a reality check because I'm like thinking in my head, have I just blown it here? Have I just blown it here? Have I just lost every opportunity to get my license back? Uh, have I just lost every opportunity to get my license back? Have I just uh, thrown away everything that I've been working hard to get for the last couple of years? And yeah, it's a bit like that at the moment with this target with the 2 year for the mental health. And I think it's clashing with some of my judgments uh, relating to mental health services and other services, because in the past, in the past, it didn't go right with Darlington, and I was in my hometown, sorry, and it didn't go right, and I felt like I had to overdose on that again to cope with it, because a member of staff said to me on more than one occasion they didn't mind if I overdosed and told paramedics that I do it regularly, there's nothing you can do. And I don't want to get into that state again. And I don't want to I don't want to throw away this now. I want to get to the 20th of June and know that I've not overdosed, self harmed in 2 years. And it's like, I do, like, when I'm trying to talk to people, and when I am trying to talk to people, I'm like, I say to them, I feel like from mental health services, and that is mainly, and when I'm talking to people about mental health services, I say to them that I feel like it might be better to control my mental health when by overdosing that, but honestly, I don't want to be overdosing. And when I am with the mental health services or talks about it, feel like overdosing might be the correct way forward. And generally, genuinely, and on heart, that I don't want to be down that spiral again of feeling like I'm having to do this to do that to cope. Like, as I say, part of the reason why I overdosed in that regular last year was because a member of staff said to me they didn't mind if I overdosed. I was getting reported to the police with mental health issues, getting arrested, and I was told by the police that and solicitors that didn't understand that having mental health issues doesn't negate me from being criminally responsible, or and that I was actively breaking the law for talking about mental health because it upsets people. So I felt at the time that overdosing was correct, that I had the blessing of services in my local area of doing it. And I felt like if I talk about my problems, it's going to get me arrested, it's going to get me into trouble, it's going to upset a lot of people. Then it's like, but then it's like I was overdosing to deal with it. Generally, generally, I don't want to go down there anymore, down that route anymore, and it's scaring me basically. Uh, and I've worked my backside off to get things back under control again. It's working brilliantly with my doctor, and it was working brilliantly. It's working brilliantly with my doctor, and it's there's improvement there, and they're wanting to wean me down from their appointments because there's improvement, and know for a fact that I want a little bit more structure, a little bit more stability, a little bit more routine to my day. So if I can get that set out, a little bit more structure and a little bit more stability today, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. But it's just that at the moment, I I am looking for support. Left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing, so to speak. I'm contacting some organisations that send me to high risk and that kind of thing. As I say with deadlines, and as I say with deadlines and target based and pressure, this is when there's an increase of emailing, which looks like I've got regulation issues with emotions. However, I am doing it. I do it to I am doing it to let people. I am doing it to try to get control of the situation again, but to try get it to the right person before the deadline target. Like few couple of months ago, I'd emailed. I'd been offered an opportunity with an autism charity, and they were like, "We could do this, we could do that." But then someone else told me with from the trust, when I told someone from mental health trust I'd that I found an organisation that could give me extra support and that I need, and they said that they felt like I could do something a little bit more specialist, but they could understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. But then I knew that there was going to be a start date of the 28th, I think, or the 20th of April or something like that, something around them lines. And it was like, yeah, I need to get it to the right person before that appointment, and it generally made myself look like I've got regulation issues and that kind of thing. But it's not. It's to try to get it to the right person, and to try to get it to the right person to so that I can understand, so that I can understand what's going on before the appointments there. And I don't want to be doing appointments and that if I don't need to. But sometimes it can make me look a bit mentally unstable, which is something that I'm not trying to do. But yeah, I think on the 20th, I will be emailing the world and its wife again. But just to say that it's 2 years since I last overdosed or self harmed, just to express how proud I am, basically. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. But yeah, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But genuinely, I am feeling a little bit nervous trying to get to this deadline, trying to get to this target. I'm a little bit more settled today after the message back from my GP. So she's trying to get things under control at her end. So there's nothing I can do really. It's out of my control. I'll discuss it with the GP on Wednesday. So yeah, it's just about knowing what I want, but knowing what I want, but to try to find that magic solution that's going to please me, please my mum, please my doctor, please mental health services, please past mental health services, please the king, please Rachel Reeves, please Keir Starmer, please Donald Trump. I'm being sarcastic about about some of them people, by the way, if you don't get it. But yeah, generally the main people that I'm trying to please at the moment, my mum, myself, my doctor, my advocates, mental health services, and I feel like I have to please past mental health services as well, even though that I'm not open to them anymore. But yeah, I've got some ideas that I'm working on, and I'm really excited again. But yeah, I'm going to keep you informed and just keep looking forward to the future. I know that I've talked about overdosing and that in this video. I do not have any intention of overdosing. I'm just mentioning it because it's going to be 2 years since I last did this, since I last did that, and I'm very excited of getting to that area to get into that goal. But yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I've got no intention of overdosing. Sometimes I do overdose on food if I've eaten too much, but that's because I'm a greedy pig or a greedy cow. But yeah, other things that just a couple of other things that I'm wanting to discuss. Yeah, a lot of people have said a lot of people have said as well, why don't I grow my hair long or try a wig, try this, try that. I've tried a wig in the past and it gets too itchy. Have noticed as well that I am trying to see about growing my hair, but it grows that way rather than that way. And I've noticed as well, like today, it's getting a bit too hot and too itchy. It's getting a bit too itchy thinking about it now. So, genuinely, I don't know. I don't know. I might get it cut in the next couple of weeks or so, but generally, I don't know. But yeah, it's about knowing what I want and what I'm comfortable with. So, part of that might be sensory needs with my autism or whatever, but I, it's just a learning progress. It's a learning process. But yeah, I want to know how to get this body hair under control. I might look at getting waxed or laser hair removal, but I'm not sure. If anyone lives in the Darlington area and wants to discuss it with me, that's great. But yeah, I'm feeling a bit more positive, a little bit more optimistic. But yeah, thank you and goodbye.